Hey everybody, Steve here with another team builder for week 4 in the VBL. We're facing the Seattle Supersonic Booms, which, if you're an NBA fan, is an awesome name. Well done. So, we lost last week. I think I over prepped for the Cottony, but I also got super outplayed. Uh, Check out my thought process in the video. There's some things that I called out that if I had just trusted myself, I would have been in a much better shape. Namely, the opening in Game 2, where I said I could just max darkness the Cophagrigus. And instead, I doubled in to the Dracovish, or the Escavalier. No, I didn't double. I taunted the Cophagrigus even though he had Mental Herb, which I said he would have. And then I attacked a Dracovish switch in. So I think I'm just learning to trust myself, call out a lot of right plays, and then just do something stupid. But this week's matchup is really scary. This guy's team looks really good. We've got Togekiss, Persian Alola, Serena, Musharna, Duraludon, Gmax, Primarina, Terrakion, Alolan Vulpix, and Glaceon, Raboot, and Seeking. So far, I've brought Liepard and Cinderace to every match, so I feel like teams are going to be prepared for that. And this week I'm doing something different. What I think he's going to bring is the Togekiss, Persian, Serena, Musharna, Terrakion for sure. Musharna is his only thing that can stop Trick Room guaranteed with Imprison, or he could also use his own Trick Room. I don't see that happening. He doesn't really have a Trick Room team. Togekiss, obviously, just really good. Persian with Terrakion is a great combo, which will, in most cases, absolutely mess up Cinderace. Serena, if he plays, will be probably Queenly Majesty to just completely ruin my Liepard. Also would stop fake outs if he ever wants that to happen. I think he's brought Primarina to every battle. I don't think he's played yet at the time I'm recording this for week 3. I don't think he's done his week 3 game. Duraludon, maybe just because it's a strong Pokemon, but I got a lot of answers against Duraludon. I think he might have seen me pick up Mantine, so he might bring Vulpix just to counter the Mantine. And then Seeking would just be coming for some Lightning Rod stuff. If I'm bringing Vikavolt, then he might just bring Seeking to counter it. So I think for sure he's going to bring those 5, and then one of these 3. Possibly Vulpix. Maybe he'll bring Raboot if he just wants to style on me, because not doing so hot lately. But let's get into what I'm bringing. So here's the team. We're starting off with Porygon 2, Mantine, Urshifu, Vikavolt, Delmise, and Mr. Rhyme. No Cinderace, no Liepard. I did make this team before I even did my Week 3 battle, so this is not a reaction to losing 2-0 with Cinderace Liepard. This is what I think is the best team. When we were looking at his team layout before, we could see that he didn't really have a Trick Room option. His 2 slowest Pokemon were Glaceon and Vulpix. Glaceon is faster than every one of my Trick Room options, unless it's holding an Iron Ball. So that would be the only concern I would have with running Trick Room. Otherwise, it seems pretty safe. So my main point of contention here is the Terrakion. How do I beat the Terrakion? Primarina I have obvious answers to with Delmise and Vikavolt. And the rest of his offensive threats, Duraludon I'm not terribly concerned about. I could beat that with Vikavolt or Delmise under Trick Room. Primarina, again, Delmise or Vikavolt. Serena, It gets triple axle, so that could be a concern. Togekiss, again, Delmise. I just really think Delmise is incredible against this team. So he might bring the ice stuff just to beat Delmise, because it looks really good. So we start with the Porygon 2, who is much more in the defensive vein this time than special defensive. And I'm missing some EVs. Yeah, it's bound to happen, though, because I don't need attacker speed. So we got Eviolite, obviously, Trick Room, Recover, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, as usual. Ice Beam and Thunderbolt is resisted by nothing on his team. That's great. Trace this time. So Trace is here in case he sends out Persian or Serena. If Persian or Serena come out first with Porygon, I'm either getting Queenly Majesty or Fur Coat. And the calcs with Fur Coat Porygon 2 with Eviolite are insane. He can almost, well, with this spread, it is not a guaranteed one-hit KO with Max Knuckle on a +4 Terrakion with an Adamant nature. That is nuts. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Ideally, he's not going to get a beat-up off on the Terrakion. So unless, if I don't get the Fur Coat, I'm probably just switching Porygon 2 out right away. But we'll get to that plan later. So very bulky. And if I get the right ability, this thing's just going to be unstoppable, I think. I could even max it, maybe. Mantine with a Charty Berry, Swift Swim, Hydro Pump, Hurricane, Roost, and Wide Guard. So the speed EVs here are so that under Rain, I get up to 186 speed, which allows me to outspeed the Persian. Unless it's Scarfed, obviously, or gets a speed boost. Roost, just for general upkeep. Wide Guard, in case he doesn't max the Terrakion and goes for Rock Slide or something, Earthquake maybe, and take no damage from that. Charty Berry is so that I can withstand if maxed, and Terrakion is not boosted, I can withstand 2 rock attacks before dying. Hydro Pump and Hurricane are both stab moves that will do a ton of damage. This is a pretty respectable special attack stat. If I can get his physical attackers down, I think I can just win with Mantine, just tanking everything. So the Serena and the Terrakion, well, Duraludon will have an electric attack, so that would be worrying. But if those 3 go down, I'm pretty sure Mantine could withstand everything else. Urshifu Rapid Strike with Close Combat, Surging Strikes, Thunder Punch, and Detect with a Life Orb. Going with a Brave Nature and Min Speed. That will allow this thing to operate well in Trick Room. It's probably the Primarina is probably going to be slower than him in Trick Room, I would guess. Maybe he goes max speed Primarina, but if I were him, I'd just go. I would just go max HP, max special attack, something like that, just in case I bring the Trick Room stuff. But if not, if I get Trick Room up, this thing will do very well against the Terrakion. Thunder Punch is good against the Primarina. Surging Strikes does a ton of damage, just max HP, max attack, and min speed. I don't know if I will bring this. We'll see what he brings. It could be good in certain situations. Like if he brings ice stuff, it's obviously really good. It's going to be good against Duraludon. Yeah, just a contingency thing, I think. Something he's got to watch out for. Like these 2 together, Urshifu and Mantine, that's a good 1-2 punch. I could max Urshifu maybe. Max Urshifu's not taking much damage from Terrakion because he doesn't get an electric attack, he doesn't get a flying attack. He could run Zen Headbutt if he's worried about it. but that would be weird. Maybe it does. I don't know. But then I get Swift Swim up. Mantine's going fast, and then I can just start blowing stuff out of the water with my Charty Berry. We got the Assault Vest Vigavolt with Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, Flash Cannon, and Mud Shot. Max Special Attack, Max HP with some Special Defense investments, and Min Speed, Quiet Nature. So with those 4 moves, Thunderbolt super effective against Togekiss, Primarina, and Seeking. Mudshot super effective against Duraludon and Terrakion. And Reboot. I really don't think he's bringing Reboot. Bug Buzz super effective against the Serena and the Persian and the Musharna. And what was the last one? Flash Cannon super effective against the Ice types and Terrakion. So I have super effective coverage against his entire roster with Vigavolt. And the Assault Vest will allow me to live all of his special attackers. So the Togekiss, the Duraludon, the Primarina. Now, this is not something I would lead with. I need to get rid of the Terrakion before I can bring this out, or at least set up Trick Room. Otherwise, it's probably just going to get stomped on by a big rock move. Then we got my Delmise. Weakness Policy, Steelworker is his only ability. Max HP, max attack. And not running mid-speed here. So it is a little bit faster than the Vigavolt. I don't know, I didn't see a reason, based on what he has, to bring min speed on this guy. So I'm not running a ghost move. The lack of a ghost move is because it's only super effective against the Musharna. And at +2, which I intend to get, Power Whip is a guaranteed one-hit KO against max HP, max defense Musharna. So Anchor Shot with the Stab Steel type does super effective damage against Togekiss and Terrakion and the Ice types. Power Whip super effective against Primarina and Seeking. And then Earthquake is super effective against the Duraludon and the Terrakion. The real worry here is that I will get one shot by Foul Play. So if I get this out against Alolan Persian, and I got to check before we play what other stuff he gets with Foul Play, because that would be a good strategy from him, is just loading up on Foul Play. Amoonguss gets it. I learned that last week. He didn't ever use it, but when I saw his team, I was like, wow, that's a good plan. So now I got to look up my Foul Play techs. Make sure I don't get caught by something learning Foul Play that I didn't know. At +2, I'm just going to take out the Persian too. I'll make sure of that before I say that, run some calcs, but Anchor Shot or Power Whip should do that. And Terrakion, I don't think he has much that can even hit a Delmise. Ally Switch is here just for some shenanigans. Like Porygon 2 Delmise, I can just Ally Switch Trick Room turn 1. If he goes Fake Out and Knuckle or something into Porygon just to get rid of him, oh, never mind, you didn't hit anything. You got Delmise. And then we get to our Mr. Rhyme with Focus Sash. Again, Screen Cleaner. Actually, this might be a good time to run Ice moves, or Ice Body. It's not really that tanky. Fake Out, Trick Room, Ice Shard, and Freeze Dry. Max HP, almost max special attack, but some EVs into defense. So again, this is because of Terrakion. This spread means I live a max Knuckle and survive through Sandstorm damage. Max attack Terrakion without the boosts. Fake Out is there just to get a free turn. Trick Room, so I have a secondary setter. Ice Shard to proc the weakness policy of Delmise. And Freeze Dry as the main attack. Freeze Dry being super effective against the Togekiss, Serena, Primarina, and Seeking. And doing neutral damage to the Duraludon, Terrakion, the Persian, and Musharna. So good coverage move there. And who knows, might get another freeze like I did last week, even though we thawed right away. Not salty about that because it was ridiculous to hit that 10% anyway. So my ideal lead here, game one anyway, I got to prep against the Persian Terrakion. So I'm going to bring Porygon to Mr. Rhyme. And I hope he's aware that Mr. Rhyme gets Fake Out so that he knows he has to, or he can't just beat up on turn one. So my goal with this lead is to immediately switch Porygon 2 into Delmise, dodging the Fake Out so that he prevents Trick Room. Meanwhile, I will actually be using Trick Room with Mr. Rhyme. He's got the Focus Sash, so he's guaranteed to get it off as long as he doesn't get faked out and attacked. And then turn 2, I'm going faster. So I proc the Weakness Policy with Ice Shard, Delmise Dynamaxes, one-shots the Persian, who hopefully also does not have a Focus Sash, otherwise Delmise is just dead. And then Delmise just goes to town because Terrakion's moveset against Ghost Grass types is not the greatest. I should be able to live most things from a non-boosted Terrakion, which in this situation it would be. And then, I don't know, depending on what he brings, one of the other three. Got some other modes to run here. Like I said before, Urshifu Mantine could be a decent lead. Porygon 2 Delmise could be a decent lead. Mr. Rhyme Delmise could be a decent lead. I could just do it right off the bat. That's inherently risky, though, because I could just foul play it right away. So yeah, starting to become less sure in my picks. I think I could have won both of the last weeks. I've just been not trusting myself and not making optimal plays. But I think we can bounce back here. This is a tough matchup, though. Lots could go wrong. And, I think I will surprise him by not bringing Cinderace or Liepard. So I think I have that going for me. And so good luck to my opponent, and thanks for watching. Peace.